Yeah, welcome to Munich. So I have the pleasure to presenting the first time in my life a customer on stage. So it's the second time this year on stage and the first time with a customer ever. I was very proud when Roland said yes when I asked him whether he would like to present our shared success. But let me introduce BARMER a little bit to the audience who is not from Germany, who might not know that company that well. So, as Malte mentioned, it's the German's second largest public health insurer. They have more than 8.5 million people health insured. So for context, Denmark has 6 million inhabitants. So there are some states in Europe which are smaller than what people are taking the health insurance. And, well, that's quite impressive. There are 40,000 employees working there. And the roots are going back to 1867, when the Kaufmännische Verein für Handlungsgehilfen was founded in Barmen. That's now a part of Wuppertal, so I have had to look it up. And the revenue is about 45 billion euros. So, and I think Roland would like to add maybe something about that.
Yeah, thank you very much for introducing BARMER. I'm very happy to be here and to have the chance to tell you something about our success with Nuxeo. And as Holger introduced us, we're a German public health insurance, so it's very special in Germany. Who don't know, it's something between highly regulated public or governmental health system, but it's a federal system, and we have some kind of competition between the different health insurers, and so we are one of the biggest, second largest in Germany, and so what's our business? I think it's important to understand what documents means for our business. We produce transactions. We have input, do something with this input, and have output. So we have claims from our members. We have membership administration, and all we talk about in our daily business is to produce transaction, to produce data, and as the colleagues mentioned before in the session, it's very much unstructured data, and we try to structure it, and it's a very, very huge amount of all this different content we have in our input channel. And so we have very much requirements to have a very stable and performant system for the daily business. So we came from a very classical SAP is a very, very big point in our infrastructure architecture. We use a special insurer add-on called Oscar, and all our colleagues and all our daily business is about checking all the input documents. And so the document and archive systems in combination with our SAP is one of the 80% of all our business processes. From 6 o'clock a.m. The people will start with documents, and they end their business day at 17 with documents. And so if it doesn't work, it's very unwell for us, especially for IT. So we looked about our modernization in the infrastructure and all of the requirements we have for this capabilities in our business processes. So overall, it's a stable and performant platform we needed. And as I told you, we are a public provider, healthcare insurer. Public means we can't choose any solution or any product we like, but we have to make tender. We have a procurement process. We have highly regulated, competitive regulations, and a tender means we have to think before we start a procurement what we want to have in the results. So we started market research with these requirements, and we don't know if it will be a Hyland product, it will be Nuxeo, but we know, or we knew there's Nuxeo, and with all these capabilities and all these features, we think we thought maybe it was right, but it's not easy to get this result in such a European tender procurement. And so I'm happy and proud we made it, and it's long before we started to join join Prime Force as partner and have chosen the Hyland Nuxeo product, but it was some time before my team and our team from Philip and all the guys made some market research, some thoughts about architecture and functionality. And so all our requirements, and that's one with the performance stable and performance solution, but also a very unified and optimized system for our demands of our users. User experience is very important. We have to build special UI, special operational and collaboration models to use these functions in our business processes. And last of all, we thought about we have to pay it. We want to pay it in a fair license model. And I think we have some experiences, some historical knowledge how we don't want to do it in the future. So I think if we look at sovereignty and some diversation efforts, we want to reach open source basis and a good license model. All these requirements was very important for us, and so I'm happy we made this tender and we had the decision, and then Prime Force was in charge.
Yeah, that was summer, spring and summer of 2023 were the tender, and well, it was decided on the 18th October of 2023, and the key facts was it should start at the 1st of September 2023, and we have to be done the latest by the end of 2024. There was no doubt, and it was not the only circumstance. So it was a tight schedule for 1 year. In the end, for migrating, what I'm always to share, what amount we have had to migration, what we have had to implement Nuxeo before, train and ramp also the team from BARMER to change their existing applications to the new platform. But for the overall migration, we have had in the end then 42 days as a spoiler. So that was, and what we have had to migrate as part of the challenge was 1.1 billion documents. That's just an insane huge amount of data which needs to be migrated. And there were more than 25 applications, workflows, interfaces which were to adapt. This is a highly complex system. As Roland explained, everything in an insurance company boils down to some documents in any form, and they have to be handled and they have to be available at all times in the old system like in the new system. And there's also constantly change, as also Roland mentioned. It starts in the morning at 6 and it goes all day round, even when the employees are back home and rest. Even in the nights, there are exchanges which are coming in from automatically exchange things. So on an average day, there are 420,000 documents every day, just additionally, either on the old system and also on the new system. Yeah, and there are daily millions of requests to any kind of document handling system by 14,000 users.
Yeah, all the day, and that's the challenge. If you have this production efforts and have to see all the people in the business to have their documents in their process and in their transactions. We had some special additional challenges.
Yes.
Someone would say we were too slow with the tender. We started very early, and we had some round trips to come to the point and to choose how to go on the market with the tender. And then something happened, and we decided to phase out, to make a big transition out from our data center, and this overlapped with the decision to go with Nuxeo in the future. And so we had overall multiple projects, 10 parallel projects in the SAP environment, in our other business units with all the special software in the infrastructure layer. And additionally, we made this small 42 days. Sounds not so long, but it's you told me it's netto. It's all the time. But we had to map this migration processes in the windows between all the other complex project planning. And if you know some transition projects with cut-over times, with different dependencies between infrastructure layer, between application layer, and all with running business all the day. So there is not such weekends in the year to make some downtimes, and that's a very important thing. We have chosen Nuxeo because we wanted to have a modern tech stack on a cloud infrastructure. And by the way, we changed this infrastructure. We built up a new cloud container platform parallel to all these other data center transition projects. And the big benefit from Nuxeo technology stack and all the possibilities to make continuous integration and continuous development on the run. It was a big benefit for a very new collaboration model between the partner, between Primeforce as experts for migrating the documents to build up this new solution and to bring all the internal guys from our team, which make a DevOps team with our partner. And this is a very, very special situation, and I'm very proud that we do it in this partnership, and we found this collaboration model to make it together, and so we have it together. We are successful in this model.
Yeah, and also to add, it was in the beginning, as I said, we hit the ground running. So we have had 14 days from the decision, okay, PrimeForce and Hyland won the tender till the project started, and the clock was ticking because we have had 1 year to have it happen. And there was a team which needs to align with my team and form a joint DevOps team. And I think that we are both standing here shows that we have succeeded in building a joint DevOps team, which is running it. About the migration, maybe, that is a schematic scheme how we have done this migration. So there were some challenges to find network slots whatsoever while the whole world was changing, and find enough space, find enough storage at a new vendor for the new cloud platform where we build up the Nuxeo installation, and then transport all that documents. And well, what we have taken is, well, we've taken the metadata for all the objects which were a long time archived on an ECS, formerly known maybe as Centera, and leave them there, and only shifted the governments from Documentum to Nuxeo. So we only have had to migrate for 90% of the data, the metadata. That makes us faster. And at the same time, the files which are not on that long-term archive, we have had to migrate physically also. We have to write to the new S3 storage. That sounds quite easy. And then when you look at this pictogram, it's quite easy. But, maybe? Okay. But the thing is, as we said, there are 14,000 employees which have to work every day. And there were 420,000 new documents coming in every day, changing this base. So it was not a fixed amount, it was a changing amount of data. Some documents even were deleted because sometimes are retained and not needed anymore, or out of retention. So this normalization takes a lot of time, and to transport it. But normalizing on an existing system slows the systems also down, because the system is made for just fulfilling its normal operations. So in the end, it was not a question of how fast we could pump in data into Nuxeo. It was a question, when do we have time for normalizing before we transport it? And when there was enough time and no one else needed it from that 10 other big projects which go in parallel, network capabilities. So, because, yeah, well, you could have fixed it if you would have invested in the existing infrastructure, but maybe that would not have been the best idea, so we have had to tackle around. Yeah, so that were the challenges, and we tricked a little bit around, and finally, we made it. And, well, okay. In the end, it's 1.2 billion documents we already have archived at the moment. And if some of the people now calculated 2 years. It was 1.1 in the beginning, 250 business days a year, multiplied with 420,000 objects, should have been 1.3 billion. Yes, the challenge at the beginning was 1.1 billion to be migrated, but we also handled quite an amount of deletions of old documents which were no longer needed, which was also a challenge itself. But that's how we end up now with a little bit more than 1.2 billion every day. Okay. Yeah, and we are still adding 420,000 documents every day. And this amount is what is impressive to me every day the most, is 3 to 4 million requests. And 3 to 4 million requests a day sounds nice, but you can't do the average, because the majority of that is between 7 in the morning and 1 o'clock in the noon. That's when the majority of employees are done with their daily work of processing incoming post, mail, whatsoever, and also the postal delivery is handled. So the majority of stress in terms of accesses is in the beginning of the day, every work day, and the hardest day in the week is Mondays. Why so ever for a public health insurer? And yeah, Roland.
Yeah, so one day after we talked about it, it's not a full year, but it was the 29th of October.
26th of October last year.
26th of October last year, we had to go live with the Nuxeo solution. And at the beginning, we had some issues in production with all the movements in all this infrastructure environment, with all the SAP and other interfaces we had to connect. And now I would say it's our requirement with it's stable and it's the right tech stack, it's scalable, and it only works, and we have all the benefits I mentioned before. We have upgrades and patches with continuous integration, and we don't even think about when to do it. We just do it on the run, and the important result of overall is our employees, 14,000 employees, are using a system that is faster and more stable than ever before, and that's the proof of success, and our success, our team on all the sides, Prime Force and BARMER and all the guys who made it happen, and so I'm very proud that we have done it. Thank you very much, Holger. And thank you very much for your attention.
Yeah, and as there is some time, we are also open for questions. If there are, we have some minutes left. Someone from the audience who is interested in something? Okay.
So I thought about it in the session before that we reached a start position now to have all this magic happen in our environment. And if I thought about as we started in 2020, maybe some years ago, we thought about how to optimize processes and document process, and that nobody told us or has spoken about AI. And now if we look at agentic AI concepts, and we have many ideas at BARMER, so I think we will have a look at all this new options we can integrate with Hyland.
Other questions? No? Then, once more, thank you.
Thank you very much.